So there have been a few requests from staff to ask several things about how we control the notifications that are coming through en masse to our Gmail account. I won't show it here, but every single thing that happens in Classroom, a student uploading something, making a comment, or even requesting access to a particular document, comes through as a separate email in your Gmail account. So we're going to have a look at how we control those notifications. So you may want it just for specific classes, for instance, and specific type of actions. And we'll also look at how we might do a few administration features, such as deleting a class that you've maybe finished with. So let's start with the notifications. So if you go to your Google Classroom and click on your menu tab at the top, your three bars, and go all the way down to the bottom to settings, you get an option here to control your email notifications. Now, if you turn everything off, then nothing will come through from Classroom at all. That's probably my preferred way of working, because I check Classroom and then I'll handle any comments as I'm going through and checking. But if you prefer, on the other hand, to leave that on, you can control exactly what it is that you turn on or off. Or if you want these things to only happen for specific classes, then go to the class notifications and turn the classes off that you don't maybe want to hear from. Unfortunately, there's no fast way of doing this if you've got 20 or 30 odd classes, but what we need to work on here is putting the classes at the top that we are managing ourselves, and the ones we've got oversight of just put somewhere else. So you get the idea. We go through and turn off the classes that we don't want to hear from. Okay, and once you've done that, you don't need to save it in any particular way. It's saved automatically. You just simply go straight back to the classroom. Okay, but for me, I prefer to have that off, so I'm turning everything off. So let's go back to classes. Now, whilst we're here in this sort of admin sort of mode, you see here at the top, we're normally going back to the home classes and then to our various class groups here, but two of these other options are really, really powerful for students as much as us. When you go to your calendar, it will show you what assignments are due in on particular days. Now, if you don't set a deadline, obviously it won't appear on the calendar. So that's an issue to think about. If you're only posting material and not making it an assignment, you can't actually add a date to just putting on some material. So think about this. If you want this to appear on someone's calendar, it's worth putting it as an assignment with a deadline. The other thing is that when you go to the to-do list, what it does for me is put the things that are on there that need doing. Again, they're assignments, so they appear, but these ones in particular don't have any due dates. The ones with the due dates will be shown, and you get to see them in order that they're generally due, or in reverse order, whichever you prefer. So you've got a list of things that you've done and completed, a list of things to do. You can have your calendar, or you can go back to your classes and access the classes directly. So our last admin thing to do in terms of Google Classroom is I would like to delete this test year group here. There aren't any students in it, so I want to get rid of it. Now, with a lot of the default images that come on, I mean, we look at the science image here, this one. Do you notice that there's 3 dots on the top? A lot of these photos or images that are there as the backgrounds, it's quite difficult to see those 3 dots. So when you click on the 3 dots, you suddenly get the extra options to do some other things with those classes or class groups. So I'm going to move this from my active set of classes into my archive, and say, you sure? Yes, of course, I'd like to do that. And it's gone from this list. Now, it hasn't gone completely. If you want to return it, it will still be in your archived classes. So the other thing to do is to think about our notifications coming through from other applications. So I did mention earlier that if a student tries to access or request something or changes something in your Drive, then that will also give you a notification. So what I'm going to do here is go to Google Drive, go to my settings, and go to notifications. A little bit slower with Google Drive, and turn off my updates about any items that happen in there. So that's fine, that's done. So now hopefully we've got a little bit more control about the stuff that's sort of coming through from our Google Classroom, and we can manage our classes effectively. I suppose one last thing with this, you don't have to suffer this layout. If people have added you as secondary teachers, you can certainly drag them down. Obviously it might make sense to make your Zoom a little bit smaller to get more on screen, to then move them about as you need. So you can drag those down and put them where you need them to be. Okay, another update later on how to upload documents that are templates or pro formas, but we have a few issues with that at the moment, so I'm just trying to get my head around it, and I'll probably get back to you on that one tomorrow.